Hello everyone, this video is for week 9, ICT and Social Informatics. What is ICT? The term ICT refers to the information and communication technology, artifacts and practice for recording, organizing, storing, manipulating, and communicating information. Today, we tend to think ICT means computer-based technology. Throughout history, humans have used different technologies to communicate. These technologies, even though they may not involve computers, are also information and communication technologies. ICT changes with culture and society, and this is not a new phenomenon. It has always done this. We just happen to be living in an age where computers and the internet are the hot technologies. Slide 4 and 5 list ICT pre-modern and modern history. Slide 6 lists some ICT applications before and after the World Wide Web. The first one, the ARPANET, Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. This is the first wide-area packet switching network with distributed control and the first network to implement TCP/IP protocol. Usenet, this is the first worldwide dial-up network distributed discussion system available on computers. Listserv has been used to refer to electronic mailing list software applications in general, which allows the sender to send one email to the list and then transparently sends it on to the addresses of the subscribers to the list. BBS, Bulletin Board System. This is a computer server running software that allows user to connect to the system using a terminal program. Gopher, I don't think anyone knows this one. This is a information and communication protocol. The Gopher protocol is a communication protocol designed for distributing, searching, and retrieving documents in Internet protocol networks. The design of this Gopher protocol and user interface is manual driven and presented an alternative to the World Wide Web in its early stages, but later it fall into disfavor, giving its place to the Hypertext Transfer Protocol (HTTP). Chat room is used to describe any form of synchronizing conferencing. The first World Wide Web page was developed in 1992, and we have the www World Wide Web Network from 1995 and the social networking, social media from in the 2000s. ICT has changed the nature of libraries mainly from three aspects. First, ICT made information creation in digital format possible. Second, it made online access and file transfer possible. Finally, it made networking and sharing of information resource possible. Slide 8 lists some areas of ICT applications in libraries. I'm not sure if you are familiar with those terminologies. I will give brief introduction of each of them. The first one, acquisition system. Acquisition system is used to find resources, place orders with a wide range of suppliers, keep track of orders, receive and record the materials, and it also used for settlement of invoice and accessing and maintaining the detailed accounts of findings. Cataloging system. Cataloging is one of the most important functions in library, which link users' requirements to the resources in a library. The ICT facilitated catalog is the most efficient tool in retrieving information about resources in a library easily and quickly. The cataloging system maintains a title in process file of all items that are then cataloged. Details about a book or any other library material can be searched by either item number or by a combination of fields such as keywords, title, author, dual classification number, class number, or by subject. In addition, this system covers catalog maintenance, thesaurus building, authority files, and holding updates. Classification system. ICT provides several benefits in the classification, helps the classification in the selection of isolate item, grouping and arrange them in hierarchical sequence, helps the classifier in synthesizing the class numbers, saves time by avoiding reference to the schedule of schema for classification on and often. The constructed class number can easily be used as a query language in a typical retrieval system and improves accuracy and speed in classification. Circulating system. Circulation procedure in a conventional system is very lengthy and consumes much of staff time. The use of ICT, such as computers, barcode scanners, and its software in circulation, helps in performing these routine operations easily and quickly. For example, an automated circulation system provides information about the location of the unload at the bindery, uh, alerting the library staff on return of a reserved print recall notice for item on long-term load, renewal of load, circulation of files, printing of file notice, analyzing of summary statistics, printing due date slips, automatically generating orders for lost books, and provision for interlibrary load transactions. Serial control system. Series here includes periodicals, newspapers, menus, journals, proceedings, transactions, and so on. An ICT facilitated automatic serial control system can provide several benefits. For example, ordering new journal, renew and disconnect a certain journal, sending reminders, receiving the journal, preparation of a list of periodical received, preparation of a list of periodical cancelled, preparation of a list of holdings, list holdings with their status, such as on the shelf, in binding, in circulation, and so on. Um, Binary management, keeping track of amount spent on subscriptions, spendings, estimation of the budget for the next year, announcement of the missing series for recording the same. Indexing system. The article index system is facilitated by ICT, and it can facilitate indexing and abstracting of an article from different journals, technical reports, conference proceeding, monographs, and so on. It includes scanning of the article, entry of citation, and online searches on keywords. OPAC system. Um, this is the Online Public Access Catalog System. The ARA defines Online Public Access Catalog as a computer-based and supported library catalog designed to be accessed via terminals so that library users may directly and effectively search for and retrieve bibliographic records without assistance of a trained library staff. OPAC are often part of an integrated library system. It can offer a bunch of search capacities on several indexes, integrated rich content such as book covers, video clips, and so on, and offer interactive request and renew functionalities. OPAC system also provides the facility to request acquisition of title, to reserve materials, send overdue recall, collect notice and messages by email. Library integrated management system. An integrated library management system usually has several main features, which include first is a database. This is where all the information belonging to a library is stored, such as mark records, patient information, and so on. Cataloging mode um, allows librarians to add materials to the database. Uh, Circulation mode check items in and out, keeping track of the location and status of the library's resources. Patron management. This enables you to add, delete, and manage your library's patrons. Staff interface. The interface uh, through which librarians manage the integrated library system. Modern library management systems have a web-based interface which are accessible through a local network or the internet via web browser. OPIC, the online public access catalog, and reports, the ability to run different reports on item movements as well as staff and patron activities. Slide 9 lists some ICT-based resources in libraries. Um, First one is the electronic box, journals, conference proceedings, and electronic theses and dissertations. Second one, library catalogs. Most libraries now provide access to their catalogs from their websites. Many others provide information about their holdings into larger databases such as WordCat. The library provides links to these catalogs on the catalog section on its website. Reference sources, many dictionaries, encyclopedias, and other reference sources are now available online in full text. User can locate these resources through the library's database finders, the library catalog, or through many of the library's research guides by subject. Statistic source. Many libraries now have access to a variety of subscription database which provide data or statistics in certain subjects. Multimedia repositories. University libraries nowadays often have digital libraries or special collections, including, for example, sound, video recording, photos, graphics, printings, maps, manuscripts, and so on. And some libraries also maintain their own blogs or web blogs. Slide 10 lists some ICT-based services in libraries. The first one are web-based online public access catalogs. I have already mentioned in slide 8. Second one, electronic documents delivery serve. Um, Many libraries nowadays have ICT-based interlibrary load using networks to deliver copies of journal articles and other documents in digital formats like PDF to their users. It helps users to access information which is not available in their own libraries. Institutional repository serve. Um, Institutional repository is a set of serves that a library offers to the members of its community for management and distribution of digital materials by the library and its community members. It is most essentially an organization committed to the stewardship of these digital materials, including long-term preservation as well as organization and access or distribution. It provides citation features, easy access to the content, and the content can be stored permanently. In addition to materials that are accurate from outside, libraries also collect a lot of materials published locally. Digital libraries and special collections are one kind of institutional repository serve. Current awareness serve. This one has been an important means for keeping the users up to date in their area of interest. The internet has enabled a lot of innovations in content, methods of, of production and distribution of current awareness products, such as label guides, web blog, electronic newsletters, and so on. Online user education, use of ICT can help to organize online workshops in libraries, such as teach university first year university students how to use library service, how to use library catalogs, how to like reserve study rooms, and so on. Readers, advisory, and e-reference serves. These include serves such as informing users about new release or additions to the library collections, selective disseminations of information, announcements, and facilitates for readers to interact with the reference staff from virtual reference desk. In academic institutions where a course can be offered via distance learning, libraries uh, can also use ICT to support their students through ICT-based advisory service. Ask a librarian serve. So this is a online reference serve and real-time consulting serve provided by librarians. Library network serves. The important function of the network is to interconnect computers and other communication devices so that data can be transferred from one location to another. Network allows many users to share a common pathway and communicate with each other. Most university libraries provide on-campus internet access and workstations for certain learning activities. Open source software serves. Open source software um, is freely available computer software which allows changing the source code and customizing the software to anyone for any purpose. In the last few years, we have seen the development of a number of information library service products in the open source world, such as integrated library system like Koha, KOHA, digital libraries software like Greenstone. You will see that in the digital library section and digital repository software such as DSpace. Most library, most university libraries provide access to many open source softwares along as well as commercial softwares. Library protocol serves. A library protocol is a single access point combining the library's subscribed database, electronic journals, and so on. Library protocol meets the individual needs of the users, and the protocol is now the standard interface to generate library sources and serves through single access and management point for users. So this is the first after class question for this week. Try to think about one ICT-based library serve that you used and feel unsatisfied. Why? What are some improvements it can make? My example is I am not very happy with UA's library protocol serve. So if I find a certain journal, certain database at first, and then I can identify the article I want. But if I searched from the library protocol, I cannot directly locate that article. I think there's some problem the protocol has. So you may try to think about one ICT-based library service you used in your library. No need to be the UA library, and you feel unsatisfied and provide some feedback. Social networking and social media in libraries. Since we lost 1 week due to the extension of spring break, I put this part here. Social network is a website that brings people together to talk, share ideas and interests, or make new friends. This type of collaboration and sharing of data is often referred to as social media. Unlike traditional media that is often created by limited people only, social media sites contain content that has been created by hundreds or even millions of different people. I have listed different types of social networking sites here, such as wikis, social networking, social photo and video sharing, social bookmaking, social news, and so on. Many libraries nowadays are using social networking platform to interact and reach out to their patrons or clients for different reasons. I have listed several here. Library professionals can use social networking platforms in three broader categories in the field of library science, including information communication, knowledge organization, and knowledge distribution. The first one, information communication. Library professionals can keep touch and effective interaction with professional colleagues and user communities in online environments. The social networking tools that can be practiced by the library uh, to achieve this goal include Facebook, blog, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Facebook is the most popular social media site frequently used by students. It is librarian friendly with many applications like JSTON search, WordCat, and much more. Librarians can interact with users to know their information needs. Blogs. By creating a blog, library staff will be able to distribute information to lots of people at one time or share information on a particular subject or issues and allow users to contribute to content. They can write articles, news on certain topics and expect feedback from their users. Twitter. Um, Twitter can be used to keep staff and patrons updated on daily activities, new arrivals, and current content serves of library updated collections. Librarians can use Twitter to give users first-hand information on the ongoing current issues. Users can send a message on compliance or ask questions on a particular issues and get the feedback on the spot using Twitter. LinkedIn. Um, this social networking site for professionals is a great way to get library patrons connected with the people that can help them find information. Librarians can use this platform to provide specialized services such as selective dissemination of information. The second category, knowledge organization. So, social software can help the professionals in knowledge organization environment for getting handy information which can be uh, accessible with the social networking technologies. So these are some tools libraries can consider to use to help knowledge organizations such as library scene. This is a social cataloging network for librarians, and you can catalog along with Amazon, the Library of Congress, and more than 200 other libraries around the world. You will get recommendations and easy tagging as well. And the second one is the Delicious. This is a social bookmarking tools. You can create a customer directory for library patrons. Teach them to search by your tags, and it will be easier to find useful internet research links. And Conati, this one I'm not very familiar with. This is a reference tool allowing librarians to save and organize reference links and share them with others. They can be accessed from any computer and offer integrations with lots of other tools. And last one is library.rano.us. This is another social cataloging site. You can put media such as books, CDs, and journals on display for easy access and tracking. And the last category, knowledge distribution. Um, you can use YouTube, Flickr, Wikipedia, Digger, SlideShare, YouTube library videos, and e-learning tutorials, event, lecture, conference, workshops, and other library serves can be put on YouTube and effectively promote and broadcasted to your users. Flickr, this is a image distributing tool, and it can be used to share new image collections. Library can share photo collections of workshops, conferences, and different programs that are organized within the campus. Librarians can use this tool to share and distribute new image of library collections. A cover page of new arrivals of both books and journals can be distributed to users via Flickr. And Wikipedia, this is an online encyclopedia updated by users. You can use this tool to share your knowledge by editing or by pointing library patrons in the right direction. You can also host your own library website on Wiki software. Digger, so this is a social media tool to find useful content that you won't come across in traditional way. You can find stories there and then share them with others using Digger's blog function. And SlideShare, this one can be used to encourage faculty, staff, and students to share their slideshow presentations for the greater community to access. It is a great way to distribute information among research community to the field of research and development activities. Okay, from this slide 16 lists some advantages and problems of using social networking platform social media in libraries. Okay, this is a second after class question for you to take the library you work or you use often as an example. Does it use any social networking, social media? For what purpose? For information communication, knowledge organization, or knowledge distribution? And what's your feedback? Do you think it does the job? Do you think it is effective, or do you think it can still be improved? Introduction to social informatics. What is social informatics? Social, I think everyone is familiar with this term, right? Informatics instead has lots of different definitions. For example, it could be the application of computer science and information science to the management and the processing of data, information, and knowledge. It could also be the use of science, computer science, information, and other technologies to provide data, information, and knowledge to the individual and the organization. Uh, it can also be used to refer to the study of the application of information technology to some domain of discourse, or like this one, informatics analytics is the study of the application of computer and statistical techniques to the management of information. Social informatics instead is the interdisciplinary study of the design, uses, and consequences of ICTs that takes into account their interaction with institutional and cultural contexts. Social informatics is not the social impact of a certain technology. It is not a field that tells users that a certain technology is good or bad. It is not punditry, or futurism. Instead, social informatics is grounded in research, not your personal opinion. It often depends on the rigorous empirical work. To sum up, social informatics is an interdisciplinary study of the relationship between information and communication technology and the society. Social informatics is problem oriented. It is defined by focusing on a problem, not a particular method, discipline, or solution. It is featured by that problem being examined rather than by the theories or method used in a research study. So it is interdisciplinary. It could cover disciplines such as history of information technology, sociology, anthropology, human-centered computing, information study, and other disciplines. Social informatics also has the critical nature. The critical orientation refers to examining ICTs from perspectives that do not automatically accept the goals and beliefs of the groups that design or implement specific ICTs. It encourages information professionals and researchers to examine ICTs from multiple angles, such as those of the different people who use certain technologies in different contexts, as well as those of the people who pay for, design, implement, or maintain them, and to examine possible uh, failure modes as well as ideal or routine ICT operations. Social informatics is also concerned with social actors, concerned with the relationship between things and social actors. Here, actors is a term that used to describe those who do things, cause things, or have agency. Uh, Social actors are usually human, but in social informatics study, often not human, but for example, institution, public or private sectors, and so on. Social informatics is also context dependent. ICTs are always situated in a particular context. In order to talk about the use of a certain ICT technology, we must talk about the context of the use. Here is Sawyer's 5 common findings of social informatics. Uh, I'm trying to think about one example for each of them. First one, use of the ICT lead to multiple and sometimes paradoxical effects. In this example, is using cell phone a good thing for drivers? Sometimes it is, because if you have an accident, if you have an emergency, you can use your cell phone to call for help. But texting while driving can also cause a car accident. I think it is illegal in some places, right? And second one, use of ICT shapes thoughts and actions in ways that benefit some groups more than others. Like this example, small cell phone size is preferred by teenagers, while big size is good for grandma. The third, the differential effects of the design and implementations and uses of ICTs often have more and ethical consequences, such as the issue of FBI, carnivores, and Facebook. Next one, the design, implementations, and uses of ICTs have a reciprocal relationship with a larger social context. For example, two laptops, big screen computers, workstations have been um, used by DJ, by medical professionals, by newer church, especially these days during the coronavirus. But the setting of such techniques has also been affected by the context. The last one, the phenomenon of interest will vary by the level of analysis. For example, uh, tracking of possible source of coronavirus infections. I think different states now have different policy, and at country level, like South Korea, I think most East Asian countries have more aggressive, more you can say invasive approach of doing this. For example, they can use your credit card information, your footage, your GPS, and even your image from security camera to kind of keep track of you if you are infected. And some countries even released your information to the public, so others, of course not your name, so others will know, okay, so in my neighborhood there is someone have been infected. So I think US and Europe cannot do this. So some people may think it is good, but it also could have legal, political, and social negative consequence. So this is you need to pay attention to. So if you are doing a social informatics research, what at what level you want to analyze that techniques and the related social, political, and legal consequences. Okay. Um, this is a third after class assignment for this week. Give your own example of each of those five common findings of social informatics. Social informatics research was born from the dissatisfaction with previous information systems research methods that were focused on either exploring the deterministic effects of technology upon society or society upon technology. The first part is called technological determinism. This theory proposed that technology causes specific social change when it is adopted and used. The second part instead is called social construction of technology. This theory argues that technology is not an autonomous entity as it is shaped by social forces. Technological determinism argued that technological development follows a nature logic, which is beyond culture or political influence. These technological developments impact societies and force society to adopt. Some proposed examples include robots and automated machines put human laborers out of work. The typewriter brought women into the workplace. The birth control pill produced the sex revolution. Google is making society stupid. I kind of agree with this. And the internet created a more democratic society. No, definitely not the case in some countries. Okay, so why is this technological determinism so popular? I think first is because it looks scientific, because it offers a single cause with a single effect, and also it sounds like predictable, and technological progress is unstoppable, and I think more importantly, um, some businesses and others gain by describing technology in this way. So those are some typical questions when you are doing this research from the technological determinism perspectives, such as what would be the impacts of a certain technology on human behavior? What would be the change in social life if we did this, if we use this technology, and will this technology improve or degrade the quality of work, and so on? The theory of social construction of technology instead argues that technology is not something independent of society. It is as much a part of society and social forces as music, art, literature, and so on. Few historians argue that machines determine history. Instead, they contend that new technologies are shaped by social conditions, price, traditions, popular attitudes, interest groups, class difference, and government policy. To sum up, technologies do not drive social change. They are the product of cultural choice, and their use often has unintended consequences. You can never argue that a certain technology was developed or adopted just because it is good or it is better than any other existing technologies. You can never make such judgment without considering other social, economic, and political facts such as the relative economic advantage of a certain technology comparing with existing technology, and social value and prestige, compatibilities and vast interest, and also the ease with which advantage can be observed from a certain technology. Here I have two examples of how social construction of technology theory accounts of technology development and adoption. The first one is net neutrality. I think some of you may heard about this terminology before. Basically, net neutrality is the idea that internet service providers like Comcast and Verizon should treat all content flowing through their cable and cell tower equally. That means they shouldn't be able to slide some data into fast lanes while blocking or otherwise discriminating against other materials. In other words, these companies shouldn't be able to block your usage of Zoom or Skype or slow down Netflix in order to encourage you to keep your cable package or encourage you to buy a different, more expensive serve. However, FCC repair network neutrality in I think 2017. So of course not because this technology is not good or it was not developed properly. And this is an example of how social construction of technology theory accounts for technology adoption. And also this the second example, I assume no one knows those two formats because those two are too old. So the first one is the GVC. This is a Victor company of Japan and Sony. So those two companies both developed standard for customer level analog video recording in 1980s. GVC's is called VHS and Sony's is called Betamax. Um, the first one is VHS has 3-hour capacity with a much cheaper price. Sony's Betamax has much better frame quality, but it only has 40 minutes capacity. And the result, the competition, they have the result is VHC wins at least until the end of 1990s. Um, so can you say which technology is better, VHS or Sony's Betamax? So if you think a certain technology here, a certain standard here is better, why, and better for who? So clearly, the VHS was adopted much widely, not because of it's better quality because Sony's Betamax has better frame quality, but because of its capacity and its price. So this is another example about how social and economical facts could affect the development and adoption of a certain technology. So those are some questions researchers will ask themselves when they take a look at a certain technology development and adoption from the perspective of social construction of technology, such as when and how a certain technology arises from a certain social processes, how social force influence the development, usage, and modification of a certain technology. Instead of a linear relationship, the social informatics perspective sees an ongoing dialogue between the social and the technical. The social and the technical shape each other. This is also known as co-production, co-shaping, or co-construction. When you are preparing for your social informatics presentation, those are some questions you could ask yourself. For example, do we adopt a particular technology? If yes, what kinds of concerns should we have beyond cost effectiveness, beyond cost productivity? What are the social, economical, political consequences that go beyond uh, efficiency and productivity? Are a certain technology neutral? What assumptions are built into a technological system, and who does it benefit? Who does it leave behind? Which group will benefit more? And what are some examples of unintended biases? I have listed some technology biases here, including pre-existing bias, technical bias, and emergent bias. Are we trapped by technology? Does Google really make us more stupid? Those are some questions you can use as reference. Um, yeah, that's all for this week. That's all for week 9. Okay, thank you.